Welcome, Super Smarties. It's Super Teacher, and I'm back. This time, what we're going to be talking about is our second block of learning. In the morning from 9 to 10, we want you to come to the screen with your yellow folder. This is for synchronous work. Synchronous means face-to-face with a teacher. Now, some of this work we're going to start together, and then you are going to finish it on your own. But this is face-to-face time, and we're going to do it every single morning. Now, the most important thing is that you want to finish all the asynchronous. That means you, on your own, without a teacher support. You want to finish all your green folder work and put it away. When you come to the screen, you don't need to bring the paper that shows your zone, but you do need to bring the memory of what zone you checked into. So if you woke up and you felt like you were regulated and ready to learn, you colored your first monster green. If you had a little bit of a hard time, maybe you were not feeling so well or still a little bit tired, you might have colored him blue. Now, after you've worked for a little bit, you might have changed your zone, and that's okay too. We're going to be making paper monsters, and you can check in with your monster, with your paper monster. But during that check-in time, you really can use anything you want. You could check in with a Post-it. You could check in with a marker. You could even check in using your folder. But you don't need to bring the papers from the green folder. All you're going to do is bring your yellow folder. The other thing you're going to bring is your wipe mat. And your wipe mat has to have its companion, its marker, and something to erase it. It doesn't have to be an actual eraser. It could be an old sock, as long as it's clean. Or it could be a little piece of towel. Just don't use your clothes. And don't use the furniture. Really important. Don't use that. Now, when you first come to the screen, you're not going to start writing. This is not what I want you to do. Come in and start writing. So don't uncap your marker. What you're going to do is come to the screen, and the first thing we're always going to do is have a checkout. So we're going to check out each other's moves while we do our good morning song, and then it'll be time for a check up. And the checkup is when we all tell that we're present and how ready we are to learn. While we're doing that, everyone else is going to be working synchronously, face-to-face with the teacher, on their handwriting. Now, we're going to start with letters and numbers and your name. I know how to write my name, so I didn't print it out in the dotted letters. And you have some space with your name and some open space so you can practice both tracing it as well as writing it. But this is really important because we don't want you to just sit there waiting and waiting and waiting. We want you to be working and working and working. So while we're checking in with everyone else is going to be working. You want to listen to your neighbors and your friends as they report that they're present and they tell how they're feeling that day. Remember, your body is like a special house that holds everything that you're feeling. And those feelings determine which zone you're in, how receptive you are to learning, how ready you are to do things, how much you want to be with people. And the 4 zones are the green zone, regulated and ready to learn. The yellow zone, maybe irritated, frustrated, little dysregulated. And the red zone, extremely unregulated. Maybe angry, maybe frustrated, maybe just so excited, like it's your birthday. And then there's the blue zone. Maybe you're tired. You don't feel very well. Now, our goal is always to come to the screen, just like we come to the classroom, regulated, rested, and ready to learn. But sometimes we need some help getting there. So in the morning, if you're not quite there, then it's really important that you let me know, you let your teacher know exactly where you are. And we're going to do a little bit of a check-in and do some strategies to help everybody be regulated and ready to learn. While we're doing roll, you're going to work on your wipe mat. Wipe, not white mat. It's a wipe mat. We have whiteboards. That's not what we're using during this time. We're actually tracing over work we already have, and we may change the work that's inside for you to practice on. But right now, it's really important that you be able to write all of your letters, uppercase and lowercase, and all of your numbers from 0 to 20 independently. That means all by yourself. And that you also be able to write your name. Now, some of you do it marvelously. So then you're going to practice. Some of you need to learn. So we're going to do it again and again and again until you know how to do it with automaticity. Automaticity means fast as a snap, fast as a clap, fast as a blink. That's how fast that I can think. It's also how fast that I can produce things. Now, during this special time, once we've taken roll and everyone's checked in, we're going to pull special material out of our yellow asynchronous folder. Oh, synchronous folder, not asynchronous. It is a folder that is used synchronously, face-to-face with the teacher. Now we'll start with some letter work. And we have a packet that's stapled together. And it's not always going to be this page. I'm just showing you this page. But we'll guide you to which page we want and which packet. Make sure that you keep it stapled. If some of the pages come off, invite a home support provider who's bigger than you who can help you re-staple it to do so that you keep your pages together. Because we want you to work independently without any big people except the one in the screen. We are also going to be doing daily work out of this little kind of packet. The letters are going to change and some of the requirements will change, but the work is going to be very similar, constant, routinized. That means we do it again and again and again. And we're going to do this together. Now, if we don't finish it together, this work can become asynchronous, where you finish it on your own. And there's going to be multiple packets because we pushed out work for several weeks. One of the things we're going to be working on this time is going to be our high frequency words. Some of those are sight words. You look at them and you have to take a picture. They're also called camera words because you have to make a picture in your smart brain of what they look like. So when it's time to read them and write them, you already know. Some words you actually can sound out, but when you use them a lot, that's called frequent. And high frequency means we see them and use them a lot. Big, robust vocabulary, Harvard words for a lot. High frequency, a lot. So these are high frequency words, and we're going to be doing some sentences where we write them, we read them, we revisit them until we get them seared into our memories. We're also going to be doing some poetry. Now, these are not nursery rhyme poetry because we're going to do that at a later block, but this is poetry that uses rhymes, uses words that we're familiar with, like this one. I like the ocean. I like the ocean. I like the sea. I like the water splashing on me. Kind of sing-songy and fun. And we're going to look for words that we can read or that should be close to what we'll be able to read very shortly. This is staple 2. You want to come back to this again and again and again because the more you read it, the more your brain is going to remember that when your eyes see that, oh, that's what it means. That's how we become readers. Now, the last thing that's in this special folder right now is this. This is a magic portal into literacy. This is called Little Learner Literature. That's called alliteration because they all start with an L. Critical analysis and review. Now, before you come to the synchronous block with us, you are going to do asynchronous recording of the calendar. This is when you get to check to see if you were correct or incorrect. It's okay if you make a mistake. I make a ton of them. I probably made 7 already. It's okay. That's how I'm going to learn. So we will check in to find out what the month is, what the day is. And then you can take this page to double back and check what you put in your green folder. Now, every day we're going to read a special story because the more we read, the greater chance we have to succeed, not just in reading, but in life. Lots and lots and lots of reading helps our brain develop an awareness of words and language. It helps us love print and books and story. And we're all living a story. It's called a narrative. So it's super important that we study other people's stories so we know how to write our own. This is how we pirate read. We take the best of other people's work and then we put it into our own. So you're going to read like a pirate and you're going to steal the treasure every day. If you prefer the book, great. If you don't prefer it, it's okay. You can say, I dislike this book, and that's the face you're going to color. So you're going to rate it. Then you might like it, or you might love it. So you'll put a rating, And then if you recommend it, it means, yes, you want other people to read it too, or no, you don't want anybody else to read it ever. And then what you're going to focus on is the most memorable part. Now, you may not prefer the book, and you may not recommend it, but there might be a part that was kind of interesting. There are some authors, like Robert Munsch, his writing is, but I kind of like his books after I read a few of them, but he wasn't my favorite author, but there were memorable parts in everything that he wrote for me. And maybe he's your favorite author. So the memorable part might be what the author wrote, the words, or it might be what the illustrator drew, the pictures. Now this we're going to start together, but this is going to be your bridge to asynchronous work. But during that time, you're going to leave your camera on because we're going to be moving to small groups. And that's on another tape. So until then, Super Teacher out. Bye, learners.